Hey everybody, welcome back to another on the road discussion. I am out and about in my backyard. This is actually the road that I live on. It is pretty darn toasty. I think the temperature right now is only mid 70s, but the dew point is in the 70s. So that makes things incredibly sticky and very sweaty. So I'm really looking forward to getting back and moving again. As you can see, I think my sunglasses are already starting to fog over. I had a really interesting question asked of me the other day, and it was by a family member, not an athlete. This individual was asking how much I'm riding. Am I riding every day? And, a lot of my family understands that my primary sport is cycling, and others know that I'm a runner. Many of my family members are runners. And it was a good question, and the answer is no, I don't ride every day. As a matter of fact, most weeks it's going to be Tuesday through Sunday, where I take Monday off. Years ago, a coach that I had worked with, I guess when I had hit, maybe 41, 42, and I had worked with him in my mid-late 30s. He had said, he had noticed my performance in a particular race looked a little meager. And he said, how you doing, man? You feeling a little tired? And I said, yeah. And he says, you just turned 40 recently, didn't you? And I said, no, I'm 41. He says, okay. He goes, that riding 7 days a week stuff is probably going to need to stop. And one of the things that he brought up is that as we age, we need more recovery time. And I'm no different than anybody else. It's important. And I have found that what's quite interesting, if you're tracking your own performance, as all of my athletes do with me, of course, we have what's known as a performance management chart. And there are many flavors of that. But one of the factors that we look at is training stress balance. If you're using Training Peaks, you'll be familiar with that performance management chart, and that it's known as TSB. And it's either a positive number, maybe it's 0, or it's a negative number. Negative numbers mean that you are working towards fitness, or you are heading towards a cliff on your on your fatigue. And I often notice that when Monday comes around, that number is really, really in the high 20s to even sometimes low 30s on the negative. And that means Rob's tired. And so that's why Rob takes Mondays off. As you get even older, you start looking into your 60s and 70s, you may even start thinking about taking a second day off. There are times where I have to do that. Sometimes it has nothing to do with fatigue and fitness. It just plain has to do with scheduling. And I regret that. And there's times that I wish I could get more in, but it is what it is. And you do the best you can with what you have. Now, many of my athletes are much younger than I am. And one of the things that we do with them is we may not ride every day of every week, and we may on a second or third week take a day off. Or what we also do for everyone is an active recovery week. And those active recovery weeks are quite simple. We're looking at maybe halving the amount of time that we spend, training, or we may be looking at other things. All right, everybody, that's all the time I have. Thanks. Talk again soon.